Hello everybody, good to be back. Another great day to be an American. I'm your host, Jack Remington of Quintessence Productions LLC. Today's video is for the Undecideds. You will be deciding this election. You will be deciding the future of our USA. There is so much at stake. Life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness is what we want. Our detractors, our enemies, those who resent us and hate us and are jealous and envious of us, green with evil, hate us and want us to die as a nation. So, the United States of America is the greatest country ever devised by man in our history on this planet. There has never been a country as dynamic with the Constitution and Bill of Rights such as the United States of America. You will have no country if the enemy wins. This video is completely designed for the undecided or sitting on the fence. They can't really decide which way to vote one way or the other for President of the United States. She's like her husband Bill. She can't seem to be keeping her hand out of the scandal cookie jar. She just cannot stay out of trouble. But what I do know is that she keeps escaping, and I'll get to that later. She may not escape this time. Are they really that important? Yes, they are. Why? Well, the short answer, 18 U.S. Statute Code 793, parentheses F. Even if there was no national security info compromised by enemy hackers, the standard is clear. Your security briefings is common knowledge combined with common sense. Intent does not have to be established, just mere negligence. The mishandling of classified information is a felony, and your security clearance supposedly is to be revoked for life. This Christian Saucier took 6 photos of the submarine. He's got to do a year in jail. They asked for 10. In the second trial, or the second hearing, the prosecutor asked for 6 years. But because of Hillary Rodham Clinton and General Petraeus is also under trial for the same section code violation of negligence, of mishandling classified material, General Petraeus' 22-year original sentence got watered down to 15 and now it's watered down to 2 or less. Because the Obama White House is scrambling, hey, we let Hillary off the hook. We can't prosecute our generals and our Navy seamen for less. And that's exactly what's happened. And I want the undecideds to understand there's 5 other Navy people and military personnel, and I'll put them on the screen later, that have been charged and are going to do at least a year in jail for less. Okay, number 2, violation of 2009 Federal Recovery Act of Information, Section 123622. Hillary Clinton violated that for sure. Okay, and the number 3, she also violated the Freedom of Information Accessing Information Act. It actually started because of the Benghazi hearings. And everybody knows about the Benghazi hearings by now. Ambassador Stevens was murdered with 3 other Americans, patriotic Americans. There was over 600 requests for help. First it was the kids throwing the rocks and bottles and a couple of the homemade grenades or whatever. As far as I know, nobody got hurt during all that. When it became apparent that they were going to be taken over and run over, they kept calling for help. And Hillary has never really fully explained it either, has she? But we know one thing. She didn't send the help if she felt it wasn't necessary. And the famous words of Hillary Rodham Clinton at the congressional hearing, what difference does it make? Well, it makes a heck of a lot. The mothers of the boys that got killed in Benghazi, it means a hell of a lot of difference to them. This all started, the very first Oversight Congressional Committee on March 4th, 2012. This went on for a long time. Hillary Clinton held a press conference on March 10th, 2015. But you can see on the screenshot here, but the Benghazi hearings, congressional oversights wanted to see things regarding Benghazi, how this started. In March of 2012, they started issuing requests for information. Hillary stonewalled them. That's their first tactic, okay, was ignored, maybe to go away. Well, guess what? Didn't go away. Okay, so you can see on the screen here, they kept issuing information until they had to order a subpoena. So now once they got the subpoena, lo and behold, now she can't ignore it anymore. 2 years and 11 months went by from the first request for information. Congress got tired of it and said, you know what, you're disrespecting us, now we're going to issue a subpoena, now we're going to see what we get. So 6 days later, on March 10th, 2015, Hillary holds a press conference and talks about it. On March 31st, the Platte River Networks, that was the contractor to maintain Hillary's communications and her servers, used BleachBit software to digitally shred the archives several times, ensuring that they can never be recovered. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Here's the thing. Madam Secretary Clinton set up a private server in her Chappaqua, New York basement in her home, okay, which is against Department of Defense, the FBI, the CIA, and the Secretary of State's guidelines. You do not open up your own private server to handle sensitive documents. You just don't do that. That in itself should be the felony. She was let off the hook. All James Comey has to find is one incidence of classified email, whether it's marked or not. Intent is not the standard here. It's negligence is the first standard. All Comey has to find is one, and she's toast. Based on that, she should be disqualified to run for office because she cannot hold a secret clearance after this. This is not rocket science. This is connect the dots. This is elementary school math. 2 + 2 = 4. 4 + 4 = 8. Anyone else, and I mean anyone else, would have their security clearance yanked. By the way, Speaker of the House Ryan just recommended to yank her security briefings while she's the candidate for an election. So only Trump gets those now. Interesting. What I want to know, and what the public wants to know, and what you undecideds need to know, is that if Hillary and her staffers and her closest confidants were so innocent of everything that she keeps claiming on her campaign stumping, why do they just reach out and grab the FBI agents by the lapels and say, yeah, I'll take the immunity deal. Please give me immunity. Why is that? The cops knock on my door right now and say, we don't like your YouTube channel, you're a hack, blah, blah, blah. You said this about Trump, you said this about Hillary, you said this about our government. We don't like you, we hate you, whatever the case is. I'm not going to be asking for immunity because I didn't do anything wrong. And they say, did you say this about Hillary? I'm going to say, yes, I did. Did you say you're not politically correct? I'm going to say, yes, and I'm going to say it again. I am not politically correct. I am patriotically correct. Okay, my country comes first. On July 5th, Director James Comey makes the big deal about any reasonable prosecutor could not find a case here. Well, the world was shocked when James Comey, the FBI director, let her off the hook. I remember when Obama appointed him as FBI director 3 years ago. He has a 10-year term, and the 10-year terms are designed to keep the political influence away from that department from doing its job. And the FBI has done outstanding work since its existence. I can't prove this, but I'll tell you what the problem is. Obama told Loretta Lynch to have Comey stand down because they need her girlfriend Hillary as a Democrat win this election. Okay, that's wrong. You let the FBI man do his job. So now a couple months go by, he's got 111 resignations piled up on his desk since July 5th, and the whispers are abound that people are still upset that they let her off the hook. They had her in a corner, and Comey had the knockout punch in his hand, and he just takes the gloves off. And Hillary runs to the other corner scot-free to go on the Air Force One the next day to campaign with her buddy Obama. And Bill Clinton meeting with Department of Justice Chief Loretta Lynch on a tarmac in Phoenix. There was a couple of Congressional Oversight Committee hearings, and especially if you watch Trey Gowdy from South Carolina and Jason Chaffetz from Utah, they grilled all the actors above pretty hard, including Hillary, and she talked her way out of it. Loretta Lynch was even worse. Well, if this was this case, I mean, she didn't answer not one question and ate up all their time. But there were some things wrong with that investigation that Comey had for a year and a half until that July 5th announcement. Okay, there was no grand jury ever impaneled. It wasn't even a discussion of one. There was no sworn oath testimony by any of the Clinton staffers or Clinton herself. So James Comey announced that he was going to reopen the case. Okay, Jason Chaffetz, I first saw on Twitter, it says case reopened. Mr. Chaffetz has gotten death threats since then. What kind of tolerance is that, huh, Democrats? And I want to undecided, please pay attention. There's only been 2 presidents in our 240-year history that have ever been impeached. Andrew Johnson, who took over the presidency after Abraham Lincoln was assassinated April 14, 1865, and Bill Clinton. So now, if Hillary Rodham Clinton gets elected, takes office on January 20th of 2017, she's going to get impeached. And I don't think she'll survive the impeachment proceedings. Yes, she broke that glass ceiling, the first female president, and she'll also be the first female to ever get impeached, and they'll be the first husband and wife Bonnie and Clyde team that got elected to the White House and are forever impeached. Impeached is a state of indictment. Okay, whether you beat the impeachment or not, doesn't matter. You are forever impeached. Bill Clinton has to live with that, and so will Hillary. Hillary might have to live with hers in jail. It's really unclear at this point what could happen if Hillary does get elected and as the president-elect gets arrested, okay? Or she takes the White House on January 20, 2017, and the FBI has enough to arrest her. What's going to happen? She's already said she's going to retain Loretta Lynch as her Department of Justice chief, so she won't prosecute. She won't recuse herself. Aside from the emails, Hillary Rodham Clinton's policies of open borders threaten the very sovereignty of the United States of America. She's also pledging to raise your taxes, and she's beholden to the war hawks that contributed to Bill Clinton's foundation. So she owes them favors. It's like LBJ told the warlords at the Pentagon before JFK was killed in the movie JFK by Oliver Stone in 1991. He goes, "You just get me elected and I'll give you your goddamn war." Okay, supposedly they were the exact words that LBJ told the Joint Chiefs of Staff because they were all just chomping at the bit to get into Vietnam. But Hillary is going to do what's good for Hillary and her cronies. She's not going to do what's good for the country. And you think she's a woman's champion? I'll get to that in a bit. Now, Donald Trump, I admire him to a great degree because he is not a politician like the rest of these people. He took down 16 politicians in the Republican primaries. He says bad things. He sticks his foot in his mouth on a regular basis. Okay, he contradicts himself every now and then, like most politicians do. But his intent is noble, far more noble than Hillary's. He's tired of seeing these bad trade deals. Your money, it's your money, Undecideds, your taxpayer money that you work so hard to pay for. Your money getting thrown away to these foreign countries that have taken advantage of us because people like Hillary, with her pay-to-play, is lining their own pockets. That's your money that they're taking indirectly. Trump is already rich. He doesn't need the money. He can't be bought. He's beholden to no one other than the American people. He's running because he's tired of seeing America take the short end of the stick. And that, to me, is to be admired. He outsloganed Hillary from the go. Make America great again. And with all of Hillary's experience and her policy wonks and all the people that's in her fold, the only thing she came up with was, "I'm with her." That's her slogan. That's kind of weak. It's kind of lame. And Hillary Rodham Clinton says she's a woman's champion? Let's ask Jennifer Flowers, Paula Jones, Kathleen Wiley, Juanita Broderick, and many other, and Linda Tripp. Let's ask these women what kind of champion she is for women's rights. She has sicked the FBI gate while Bill Clinton was in power. Hillary got the FBI on him, not Bill. Hillary got dirt on Paula Jones when Paula Jones was down and out. Tried to paint her as this rampant hooker in some Arkansas trailer park somewhere to use it against her. Okay, to get her to shut up. Paul Jones didn't back down, and Bill had to pay her $850,000, and Bill got disbarred for that while he was President of the United States during the impeachment hearings. Undecideds, pay attention. I got the public record. I'm not going to tell you how I got it, but I have the public record from the FBI files. It's unclassified. That shows that she did it to get away from the FOIA requests and impending lawsuits. FOIA, Freedom of Information Act. She could not withstand the scrutiny of where these donors are coming from, and Bill Clinton's presence there, the former president of the United States, accompanying his wife to Haiti, African countries, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, other places, Russia. But to use your position as Secretary of State or to pay for play, it's a felony, if not treason. Dereliction of duty. And as far as I know, and you can correct me, put it in the comments below, there's no statute of limitations from now that this has been uncovered. That's why Hillary has spun such a web intended to deceive. So Hillary knows that if she gets busted for her Benghazi acts, selling arms to ISIS that's now being uncovered, now we've got this Mr. Epstein's Lolita Express train that Bill Clinton's on the travel logs that that the New York Police Department uncovered, and then Comey had to come out October 28th. So Bill Clinton's definitely, I've seen screenshots of Bill Clinton on the unofficial, unclassified documents, definitely on the log. Hillary supposedly has been on there 6 times that we know of, possibly more. That's not to say she really did anything, but it sure don't look good. Undecideds, please pay attention. Take a chance on the guy who knows how to run a business, and that person is Donald J. Trump. Hillary, how many jobs has she ever created? She's created some jobs with the FBI, I guess, with all these investigations. Do you think that's really helping the economy? I don't think so. And I can pray to God in heaven that you have the intestinal fortitude to think about the future of this country. Vote for your grandchildren and their children. Vote for the future of this country. Put your own personal biases and your hatred and your dislike of Donald Trump aside. Vote for your countrymen. Vote for what makes us great. Vote for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Vote for this. 108 million men and women died for this flag since 1776. 355 million more came back with less brain cells, less sanity, and less limbs as well. Pray for them too. Think about them. Think about the current people serving in our armed forces. I don't care if it's a volunteer Army, volunteer Navy, volunteer Air Force, Green Beret. I don't care about volunteer. They're still serving. They're still going to stop the bullets. Send her either to jail or back to Arkansas where she belongs. You can do the right thing. Have that intestinal fortitude. Have that love of country in your heart. And vote for Donald Trump. Do it. The future of the United States depends upon it. Thank you. And in closing, it's been another great day being American.